How's it going, Phil?
Oh, not too bad.
How are things in Cleveland?
Fair, I guess.
Fair?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we had really awesome weather, like in the 70s and 80s, and it's back to normal spring Cleveland weather. Chilly and kind of rainy.
But it's not snowing, so that's a plus.
That's correct.
It could be snowing. Could be worse.
Yeah, we haven't had much snow, so not complaining about that.
That's good. So I guess Ivan's probably off doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what Keith's been up to either. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
I see him playing with Bob almost every night, so I'll have to jump in one night.
Yeah, that's what, the heist they're playing? Or Payday the Heist?
Payday the Heist. It's like a cooperative bank robbing game.
Right, yeah, I was reading on it on Steam a couple days ago, and looks like it's a pretty decent, basically a new IP.
Yeah. I think it's a Sony thing, isn't it? Sony made it. I know it's on the Sony PlayStation Network as well.
Okay.
I know very little about it, other than I actually own it because it was on a Steam sale cheap once for like $5.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it seems like it's a pretty cool genre since, I mean, it's different from everything that's out there. Very different.
Yeah, normally $20. Yeah, it was on sale once for like $5 or $6.
Well, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, there's lots of really good deals now. Apparently, Amazon is price matching Steam for certain games, and they have digital downloads so that you can get Steam keys for certain games through Amazon.
Oh, no kidding.
It's another thing to look out for if you want to look for sales.
You have to keep that in mind.
So, what's been going on, Phil? Anything last couple weeks new?
Just out of the blue, I decided to check my Battle.net account because a couple weeks ago I got an email saying that I was selected for the Diablo 3 beta, which, you know, you get something like that, you never believe it unless you actually log into Battle.net and check it out. So I did check it out last week, and lo and behold, it was available for me to download. So I downloaded it and played the monk, and actually just finished killing the Skeleton King, which is actually a pretty epic fight.
And what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
It's not bad. I like what they did with some of the animations. Animations is really good. Everything's pretty much destructible as long as you hold down the shift key. That's always interesting. The thing that I kind of complain about is when you go into your spell book or your skill book to select which skills you want to use, it doesn't tell you how much damage your actual attacks do. So I'm not sure if I'm actually selecting something that's better than something else. For the monk, it's kind of mostly melee attacks and whatnot, and you can do blinding and healing and stuff like that. But the melee attacks, you could do either, you know, quick attacks, or you can do attacks that kind of punch through. So kind of like piercing damage when you're fighting. So I wasn't sure between the two which one is actually better for the character. And then the other thing was I wasn't sure if that character is better off dual wielding or taking one fast weapon with a shield or what. So early on, I don't think it really matters because everything's pretty squishy.
Did you ever have any problems in the whole thing, like getting beat down by the enemies, or was it always pretty easy?
With that character, it was pretty easy because the secondary skill that I took was like a roundhouse kick, which actually had knockback. So that was very beneficial, especially for a melee character. But no, the first time I fought the Skeleton King, I think I got him down to just below 50% health, and he ended up summoning so many skeletons and whatnot that I died pretty quick.
Oh, you died?
I did die to him once, yeah.
Now, did you have the helper with you?
I did. I had the little minion.
Huh. They must have ramped up the difficulty then, because the first character I played was the monk, and didn't really have a problem with the guy. That's a good thing, because it was pretty easy the first couple times I played through.
Okay.
It was really easy. I never feared for my character's life at any one given time.
Not really until I got to him did I really have a problem.
And now, does it feel to you like Diablo, or does it feel different?
I think it feels a little different. Not extremely different, but just a little different.
Different good or different bad?
I'm not sure, I guess. I guess I'd have to play it through with a different character, get another feel for it, but With the monk, I enjoyed it.
And are you going to try another character? Are you going to try again, or are you going to wait till the retail?
Yeah, I'll probably try something different. I really want to try the Witch Doctor.
Everyone wants to try the Witch Doctor. That's the one I wanted to try until I couldn't put a dagger. I couldn't slot a dagger in one of the attack keys.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead. You'll see. Try it. If you can, you will be able to until you unlock the second attack, the second skill. And then both of his slots become filled with just his skills. No way to equip a melee weapon.
Huh.
I mean, you can put it in his hand. It'll show it's in his hand, but it won't show you that you're actually able to use it. So, so you'll get the buff from it. Where if you pick up a dagger with like a buff on it, but you won't be able to actually use the dagger at all.
Huh.
That's the weird thing. Yeah.
That is odd.
And everyone says you can do it. They say you can choose whatever you want. But I've tried all the options in the menu, and it just seems like that they've locked. They don't want the Witch Doctor using his melee. They want you to use the skills. People say they're canceling or dumbing down the narrowing the choices for people who aren't familiar with Diablo. I can't speak to any of that, but I'm just saying it's interesting. So Diablo, what else you been doing? LOL?
Yeah, a little bit of League of Legends. I did download Civilization 5 when it was on sale a couple weeks back and played the demo a little bit. And the demo was, or not the demo, the tutorial, I'm sorry. The tutorial is fairly easy, but I got to a point within the tutorial where I was kind of scratching my head and saying, is this supposed to end, or am I supposed to just keep going and going and going and going until I build something or reach something more modern times? The
point, you win when you like achieve a certain level of tech, I think, or conquer the world or something. I think there's multiple end conditions depending on how you build a civilization.
Okay.
So you can either go all, conquer everything, or build all the way up to space race and launch yourself into orbit. There's different paths you can take to win.
I gotcha. Well, I was just trying to figure out how to create like a seaport so I could take a ship across the water to like a Rune or something that I found. But I don't know if you could do that in the tutorial.
I don't know. I've only played it once or twice. I'm not a Civ master at that game.
So literally, a game could last for hours and hours.
Yeah, it could take a while. I do know games do take a while to play. Have I done anything interesting the past couple of weeks? I've played I'm looking at my Steam games I've been playing. I played Wolfenstein. I've played old games. Oh, I've played Wizorb. Wizorb is a fun game. You ever hear of Wizorb?
No, I have not. What's that like?
Okay, so imagine Wizorb. Analogies here. So Bejeweled is to Puzzle Quest as Arkanoid is to Wizorb.
Okay.
So it's Breakout, where you're bouncing the ball back and forth, and you can level and get skills and spells and cast different things as enemies to hit as they're moving around. It's like, I guess the game started off as an XBLA indie game, that other marketplace they have with all the indie games on there, the cheap ones. And then they put it onto Steam, and it's only like $1 or $2. It's like $2. It's really, really cheap. And it's basically Arkanoid with role-playing game stats for your character. And you go around. Now, my only complaint is, as you go from like World 1 to World 2, there was like 15 different boards I had to clear, like 13 plus boards, which is a little tiresome because it took me like a half hour to get through all the boards. But beyond that, it's a really, really fun game. You can you're doing the standard Arkanoid stuff, bouncing the ball back and forth, and at the same time you can cast spells, you can cast fireballs and that kind of stuff. You can upgrade your abilities, get more health. What else is there? There's boss fights. They're pretty easy, but they're interesting because the guy's moving around. You have to bounce the ball and hit him, and then dodge his attacks. So it's a different take on the Arkanoid Breakout game style. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be fun. Have you downloaded any new iPad games?
iPad games. I always get new iPad games. I can never remember what I get. Let me look. Hang on for 1 second. Wish Ivan was here to talk about his new iPad.
Yeah, have you guys seen any or heard of any of the issues that they're having with the new ones, where they're overheating or anything like that?
I haven't, although I don't work for Apple anymore, so I don't know. But I haven't heard of any major issues. Angry Birds Space is awesome. That's a fun one to play. So you've played Angry Birds, right?
I've played Angry Birds, yeah.
So space is just Angry Birds, but now you're on planets, and the planets have gravity. So your birds react to the gravity, and they get pulled in. You have to basically you're doing all kinds of slingshots around to hit the pigs, and you're trying to get the right momentum and the right angle so it goes around, picks up enough speed, and comes in, hits and kill, and does it all in one shot. That's why.
So it makes it a little more annoying and challenging.
It makes it more challenging. It's more of a physics puzzler at this point.
Right. That's cool.
There are levels where there is no gravity, where you're all in free floating space. So things just hit and it carries you off the wrong direction completely if you make the angle wrong. So
oh wow, I'm gonna have to try that one.
Yeah, I highly recommend Angry Birds Space. Another one I'm looking at right here. If you're a fan of the old Bard's Tale wizardry games, there's a game called Silversword, which is just like those, meaning it's those are the kind of games like Eye of the Beholder, where you have a party, you have a grid-based view, a map, and you have graph paper to draw out your maps and everything, and then every turn, you turn left, turn right, move forward, or attack, or do something in the environment, pick up something, open a door, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so Silversword is basically that style of gameplay, that kind of game on the iPad and iPhone. So another highly recommended one, Silversword. I think that was $5 though. It came out for $5. And they had a free weekend like a week ago, but it's still back up to full price. Then there's always the guys. You ever play 100 Rogues?
No, I didn't.
Okay, 100 Rogues is a rogue game where this is the kind of overhead view, walk left, up, down, turn-based combat, turn-based moves, and the enemies come towards you and you attack them, that kind of thing. And you die. The point is, in these games, you die. You're trying to last as long as you can. Maybe you'll win, get all the way to the bottom level, but most likely you won't. You'll die some horrible death. And they made a pseudo sequel called 100 Trials, which is the 100 Rogues base gameplay, but put into 100 different puzzlers, where maybe in one puzzle, you have to get to the stairs, and there's enemies in your way. Maybe you shouldn't attack the enemies and just try and run around them and try and get away from them as fast as you can without dying. So it's basically 100 Rogues, but puzzles.
Okay. I'll have to try that one out.
I'm trying. I don't know if they have a free trial. I'm trying to look if there's anything else. Then there are some board game conversions. Delve Dice, which is a stupid little dice game. It's based on a real dice game. Basically, it's sort of like you have a party of 4 adventurers. One is a wizard, one's a barbarian, one's a thief, and one is a cleric. And each of them can do different things based on dice combinations you roll. So you roll 6, you get 3 chances to roll 6 dice. And in between rolls, you can choose some dice to set aside and keep their value. So let's say you roll 6 dice and you roll 3 ones. So you can hold those 3 ones to the side and then roll the other 3 dice again to get whatever combination you want. And then once you get your combinations, you can use the party's abilities to attack monsters that are fighting you. So every time you're constantly being attacked by like goblins, orcs, and those kind of things. And like the barbarian will hit the toughest enemy for 2 points of damage for every 6 you roll. So you can choose what you want to do. So you make your dice rolls, then use those rolls to cast the different spells and skills of your party to attack the monsters. It's a fun, stupid little game. That's enough. I got enough. There's more. Like Rune Raiders. Rune Raiders is a very silly, stupid little tactical turn-based strategy game where you're lining your guys up along the bottom, your cleric, your archer, your whatever, and marching them forward 1 square at a time up. And then from the top down, enemies are coming towards you. And you got to line your guys up in the right pattern at the bottom to use their skills cooperatively to attack the monsters. That's a fun one. Rune Raiders. So, yeah. That's interesting stuff so far. There's some board game conversions, but not unless you're into board games. Did you ever play Pandemic?
Pandemic. I think I have.
Pandemic is the one where the viruses are outbreaking all over the world, and you have to work with you each have a role, and you're cooperatively trying to destroy the viruses, and the viruses are cubes. And whenever enough cubes come together in one spot, it cascades and breaks out into neighboring cities. Sound familiar? Tom and Chris play it a lot. That's how I
think
got
you guys. I don't think I played it, but I know you guys had it.
Okay, well, I think we had it at the last board game thing, but I don't think we played it. So, if you were there that one time, we were going to play, but we didn't because they wanted to play something else. Okay, so Pandemic. That's what Pandemic is. Is basically it's a puzzle game where randomly cubes are dropping all over the board, and you're trying to move your guys and use the synergies of your abilities to take out the cubes as fast as possible while preventing them from outbreaking too much that you get a pandemic and everyone dies. So on the they were going to make an iOS version of it, but apparently the funding ran out, and someone else released a game called Eradicate, which is the same as Pandemic but with zombies. So zombies are breaking. It's the exact same kind of style of gameplay, but it's with zombies. So it's cheap, I think, too. It's called Eradicate.
Eradicate. Okay. Yeah, I'll check that one out. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they're brain burners. The Pandemic games, those kind of style games are brain burners. Where you're trying to constantly optimize and usually what you want to do in those games, you don't play solo. You play 2 or 3 players and have 2 or 3 roles. And what you're trying to do is figure out the synergy between the roles to make it work together so you can eradicate all the zombies or viruses, whatever you want. So there you go. There's some iOS game roundups.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Draw Something with, Chris, Ivan, and the guys, and actually Jill too, so.
I've never played Draw Something. What is it?
It's basically Pictionary. So, but the what is it? They give you the letters to guess what the picture is that you're drawing. It's really good because it doesn't just show you the end product. It shows step by step how you draw. So, if you draw a circle, it'll show you drawing a circle. So,
do you do all the drawings at once, then it shows them over time, or does it show it as you're drawing it? How does it work exactly?
So basically it just records each of your brush strokes as you're drawing, and then they watch it. Correct. They watch you step by step draw it,
and then they eventually say, I guess at step 20 that you're drawing this.
Right, but it's smooth. It's not. It looks like an actual video recording of you drawing it. It actually speeds it up a little bit, so if you pause in the middle and you're looking for different colors to add, it actually speeds it up a little bit.
Okay, so this isn't like a back and forth kind of thing. This is just...
It is actually. So I would draw something, and then I would send it to you, and then you would watch my step-by-step as I drew it, and then you would either guess it, get it right or get it wrong, and then after that, you would draw something, and then it would send it back to me until I go back and check it out. So basically you do a draw and a guess, or
I'll have to. How much is it?
I think it's free.
Is it free? Let me look. It sounds pretty fun. I'd do it,
If it, I thought it was free. If it does cost anything, it's only like $1.
They have ads they're running in the background.
Well,
if they have ads, not that obtrusive because you're not.
I don't think so. It may have only been $1.
And there is a new iOS game coming out that's going to be pretty good. But let me look at this one. Let me look at how much it's going to cost first to get closure on this. Oh, it is free. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Free. Install. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Even if you're a bad drawer, it's pretty fun.
And there is a game coming out pretty soon that's going to be pretty cool on the iPad. It's in the board game conversion. There's a game that is out there called Nightfall, which is basically vampires and werewolves attacking each other. It's a card game that's like Dominion. You've played Dominion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's like Dominion, but the big thing with this game is it's a deck builder where you're constantly building your deck up. But the big key add-on to this one over Dominion is you can chain attacks together. So there's this whole color scheme, which when one player plays a card and he's done playing all his cards, it comes to me. And as the last card he played, if I have the right cards in my hand, I can chain off his attacks and then make this long chain of attacks from his start. So it adds this whole chaining mechanic on top of the whole base attack each other. So
is it a cooperative game then?
No, you're trying to kill each other.
Oh, okay.
So one guy makes his attacks, and then he wants to make his attacks in a way that he doesn't let other people grab onto his chain. But
I
the
see.
opportunity is there. You have to pay attention to what people are getting. If they're getting their cards that if they're building a deck that's complementary to your deck, then you're going to be a problem. You're going to be screwed. But if you try and go opposite the other guys, then you can make your chains correct and then get all this cool effects happening and kill the other people. So it's basically Dominion with this whole chaining scheme on.
Okay, so can you see what the other person's buying as far as their cards?
You can. It's totally. It's like Dominion, public knowledge what people are buying. So you can watch what they buy. You know what the decks are. There are certain cards only people have. There are certain like reserved cards only a certain one that player can buy. It's like a private stash to buy from. But there is a whole common marketplace like Dominion where people can buy whatever they want. It's a very fun game. I mean, it's like vampires and werewolves, and then on top of that, it's going to be on iOS pretty soon, which should be pretty cool. Should be out soon. Yeah. Okay. Got anything else, Phil?
No, just I think they announced the official release date of Diablo 3 is what, May 15th now?
May 15th.
So, about 6 weeks away.
And mine should be here on that day. So, yay.
Now, did you order the collector edition or just the regular one?
Hell yeah, collector's edition. I want my Diablo USB stick.
Cool.
I want to take it to work and plug it in my computer and just have it sit there and be weird.
Nice.
It's the little things in life. Have you pre-ordered or plan on?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Are you going to do the Blizzard route or the collector's edition or physical or what?
I haven't decided. I may just do just the standard digital download.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you do that. Actually, if you do it now and you pay for it now, you can start downloading it right now and be ready on May 15th.
And then you just download like a 100 meg patch or something like that.
Yeah, whatever the unlock's going to be. I probably can't play it till like the weekend anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
I gotcha. Maybe I'll buy a box version just because it's
Diablo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason why I would get a boxed version if I was to buy it. But it would be nice to have it pre-downloaded.
No, yeah. I mean, that's the only plus to doing the digital download is you can start buying it now, and then when May 15th rolls around at midnight, actually May 14th at midnight, which is May 15th, you can start playing right then, assuming the servers stay up and everything is fine.
That's about all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. And we should put a start on the show, and this was Video Game Show episode 266. I'm Chad, and this is Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil? Did you say hi?
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil. Okay. Well, Skype
You said say hi, Phil, so I said hi, Phil.
it sounded like I, Phil.
Oh.
Okay. All right, and that was episode 266. Any final words?
No.
There. Okay.